Hi family, how y'all doing? This is Jasmine, and I'm just coming through to make a video. It's April now, and I am not in Atlanta, but the World Natural Hair Show will be this month, and I'm gonna try my best to make it down there. And while I was thinking about my plans to attend the show, I was thinking about how I've had this conversation with different people. It's an old conversation. It's not nothing new. It's the whole black hair thing about black women and their hair and natural versus the perm communities. And what I tend to notice is that a lot of naturals, a lot of women that went natural are natural on the journey of being natural, for some reason over time develop an attitude that is very uppity, snooty, and, stink ass, type attitude towards, women that continue to, they may continue to perm their hair or wear weaves and stuff. And it's almost like you, I mean, yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it just kind of, it irks me because number one, myself personally, I used to wear weaves. I used to perm my hair. So it's great that once you have gotten to the point where you can, love your hair, you learn about it, you read about it, you attend different, conferences, you network with different naturals, that's out in the area, and, you just learn, you read up on it, you study the history of black hair, and it's great that you start to embrace that, and you start to love it, and you start to love your own hair, and you start to, take care of your hair, you know, a lot better. But what I do have a problem with though is in the process you tend to look down on everybody else and their decisions to continue to perm and wear perms and weaves and stuff like that. I think it's a huge turnoff when I see a lot of videos that they're very extreme on YouTube where they post all these uh I don't know, just information about comparing maintenance for perm hair versus natural hair and the cost benefit analysis. You're going to be either spending more with your permed hair versus with your natural hair and blah blah blah. And quite frankly, hair, no matter if it's natural or permed, is a lot of work. It takes work. To have locks take work. To get a perm straight weave takes work. It takes time. So the whole argument sometimes is futile. Time saving. No, it takes time to have natural hair too. It's a process. Just like it's a process to have chemically, straightened hair. You know, I mean, it's just a lot that, they try to pin one against the other and say what are the cost benefits, and the only major benefit, major, that you can't trump it, I don't care who you are, you know, between natural hair versus having your hair permed is, the fact that your hair is healthy when it's natural. Now, that depends on what you use too. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say if you use, your hair will still be healthy if you continue to use commercial products with a lot of petroleum and alcohol and all these scientifically, you know, lab, chemicals that they put in these products. But people with natural hair are more conscious. They're more aware of what goes on and in their body. They're more discriminate. They read the labels of everything. Me, I do that all the time. So their hair tends to be 100 times healthier, stronger, pliable, just, growing out like weeds, just in abundance, thick, volume, all of that stuff will naturally come, with natural hair, and you can't ever have it with weave. I don't, or perms. That's the only thing that I can say is a huge benefit of natural hair over, any other style, is that your hair will be 100% healthier and stronger. Um, so, and I noticed also another reason, I didn't really say it in my first couple of vids when I was talked about how I used to have sister locks, but I started to notice as well when I first started locking my hair, is that certain types of people in the lock community have the same attitudes towards, other people. People with smaller locks, such as sister locks. A lot of those ladies, not all of them, but a lot of them choose sister locks because it mimics straight hair. I didn't choose sister locks for that. I just thought they were beautiful. And I liked the small size. I thought it was very unique. I've never seen locks that tiny before. But a lot of women, when they choose to go with sister locks, they do it because they're so small that from afar, you can't even detect that they're locks. They look like straight hair. And they can do everything they could with it, like curl, cut. Same thing with locks. But, it just has that, that look that they're trying to go for. So they tend to, be ashamed or, like, ugh, when they hear, people have thicker traditional locks. And I'm like, hello, your hair is locked. Like, I mean, did you forget? Your hair is locked. Just like dude over there with Bob Marley, large, growing like tumbleweeds type locks. Locks come in different shapes, sizes. You know. So it's almost like, why do you feel like your hair or your choice for locking your hair is superior to anybody else? Why do you feel like, traditional locks are repulsive? I don't understand. So, it's like, for some reason, black people find ways to divide ourselves. It's like, no matter what, we're going to always divide ourselves. We're always going to have to differentiate and put one above the other. That whole idea about colonialism is true. We have colonized minds. We want to divide the class. We want to have people that are superior and people that are inferior. And, the whole natural hair, debate, lock debate versus, large locks versus like sister locks and all that stuff. All of that are just tools just to keep us divided as a people. Further and further drifting us apart from each other. So that's my message. I wanted to let everybody know that I don't have a problem if you have weave, extension tracks. Just make sure, this is just my only, caveat is this. I don't agree when women use weaves, perms, etc. because they hate their natural hair. They absolutely just cannot stand it. Like, they will not go to work. They won't go to school. They'll call out sick because they have to walk outside and the sun has to beam on their natural hair. The world will see their natural hair. Like, they don't want nobody, their husbands, nobody sees their natural hair. The only person that ever saw their natural hair is their mother when they gave birth to them and their stylist. That's it. Nobody sees it. And I think that's ridiculous. That's where I draw the line. When women, if they, wear weaves and stuff, they do it and they're so extreme with it. Like, they can't, if they have, if they're in between, styles or something, or they need to go out the night before and buy a kitty perm to, to take care of the roots for the morning for work, or they're not going to work. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's stupid. Retarded. That's when I would jump on a black woman about her weave and stuff. That's what would get me, to that point. Because I think that's, ridiculous. Hair's hair, yes. And if you ask me if I am my hair, yeah, I am. I definitely identify with my hair. I use my hair in so many different ways to express myself. So yeah. So, but at the same time, there's a difference between having a bad hair day versus I am not going nowhere because I hate my hair. Nobody will see it. That's where I draw the line. That's, So, all right, y'all. Thanks for listening to this rant, and I'll holler at y'all. Peace.